Every couple of weeks, a conservative lawyer and former GOP staffer by the name of Mike Davis makes the news for posting some of the weirdest, craziest, and most dangerous things we have ever seen on social media. But this time, it's not just about what Davis posted, it's about who reposted it. Because the person who reposted it was Donald Trump to his very own Truth Social account, and what he reposted from Mike Davis was this. The Supreme Court still has an illegal injunction on the President of the United States, preventing him from commanding military operations to expel these foreign terrorists. The President should house these terrorists near the Chevy Chase Country Club with daytime release. Now, Supreme Court Chief Justice John Roberts and many other prominent people, most of them in politics, are members of the Chevy Chase Country Club. But basically what he's calling for is, okay, if the Supreme Court's not going to play ball with Donald Trump, if they're going to rule against him illegally, which for the record, it technically can't even be classified as illegal if it is a ruling from the Supreme Court. So learn your facts, buddy. But he's calling for the terrorists, which aren't even actually terrorists, to be released near the places where Supreme Court justices are known to frequent. You know, in the hopes that one of these people will kill a Supreme Court justice. Let's be crystal clear, right? Let's not dance around what you're trying to imply here, because that is what you're trying to imply. Let's put these people in danger so maybe something horrible happens to them. That's what you're doing. And Trump reposted it, folks. Then you had former Obama speechwriter Jon Favreau, not the actor, but the former speechwriter. He said this in response to Davis's post. He said, "The president reposts a suggestion from an advisor that he release terrorists near the homes of Supreme Court justices who've merely ruled that the government can't send people to a foreign gulag without due process." So Mike Davis then saw this post from Jon Favreau and said this, "Yes, we should send these Maryland fathers where they will feel safe and protected. Wealthy white liberal enclaves like Chevy Chase and Martha's Vineyard, instead of working class minority neighborhoods like Aurora. Then let's see how much due process you liberals want." We still want due process. For the record, we're not saying that all of these people are the greatest people in the world. We're just saying the Constitution says they have to have a day in court. Let's not shred the Constitution just because it takes a little longer that way. That's all we're saying. And if you have a problem with it, then you have a problem with the very foundation upon which the United States was built, in which case you should be the one getting the fuck out of the country for good, Mike. If you have a problem with the Constitution and you're unwilling to abide by it, then leave. Get out right now and don't ever come back. But you don't get to shred it and ignore it and disobey it just because it doesn't suit your whims. I mean, hell, if that was the case, then Jesus, next liberal president we get might come around, ignore the Second Amendment, and scoop up all your guns, right? Y'all conservatives have been saying that for decades. It's never happened. But if we're in the process of just dismantling the Constitution, why not start there, right? See how I turned the tables on you all of a sudden? Suddenly it doesn't seem like such a good idea to you conservatives to shred the Constitution. Because you do it for one amendment, then guess what? The rest of them will soon follow. And let's not kid ourselves. It's not just one amendment right now. They're also shredding the First Amendment. So, yeah, if we're in the process of shredding amendments, then y'all better hope the Second Amendment doesn't get touched by the next liberal president, because you've set a pretty awful precedent for yourselves. Y'all never think about that. You never think ahead. You don't have the mental capacity to think more than 2 days into the future. So, you better hope the Supreme Court keeps saying you can't shred the Constitution, because I promise you, eventually, it's going to come back to you. But in the meantime, you've got these little weirdos, these freaks out there, without having to use the actual words, but it's pretty obvious what the implication here is, threatening these justices on the Supreme Court. Look, I don't like them either. Can't stand 6 of them at least. But putting their lives in danger is not cool. Calling for that is not okay. The President of the United States reposting it is about as bad as it can get. Because even if they don't do this, which they have done it before with their migrant flights, trying to flood liberal areas, the thing is, Trump's base also sees this. They know what these people are trying to make happen. And if those so-called terrorists don't do it, maybe a Trump supporter will. That is the scary part. That is why threats like this should be investigated. The Secret Service, the U.S. Marshal's Office that provides protection for the Supreme Court justices, should be knocking on Mike Davis's door right now. They're probably not, but they need to. Thanks for watching, everybody, and if you're not already, please subscribe to the channel. We got fresh content every day for you. And if you want to follow us across social media, make sure you check out all of the social links that we have posted in the description of this video.